Tell me right now, what is wrong with hustle culture? There is so much talk and so much polarity around the topic of hustle culture. It seems to be very black and white. On Team Hustle, it's grind, do the most, get up, be disciplined, suffer the pain and struggle, and that's the only way you can make your dreams happen. And on Team No Hustle, or anti-hustle, the rhetoric seems to be, you really just need to be. Don't do so much. Do what's right for you. Just relax. It'll all work out. In my opinion, none of those work. They both trigger me. And I've done both. I love me some David Goggins and Jocko Willink, and sometimes I do need to hear those rough words. But that is a lot of suffering and sacrifice and pain, really. I believe that hustle culture, and what turns most people off, is really suffer culture. It's this deeply embedded idea that the more we suffer, the more pain we're in, the more we will be rewarded. But that is not true. People sweat, people bleed, people work 80, 100 hours a week, and they still remain broke. So that doesn't work. And on the other hand, in a more what they call surrender, law of attraction, femininity, allowing, just be. Just meditate and think about it and visualize, and it's gonna happen. But you see a lot of these highly spiritual people broke AF, and they can meditate and use all the crystals and burn all the candles, but they're sleeping on their friend's couch. So nothing's happening over there either. So what is the middle ground? It's both. We live in a world of duality, of doing and being and doing. We cannot have one without another. So when people say just be, that's actually impossible. To be is to do, and to do is to be. We can't just do without being. And I know these are just ideas and concepts, but a lot of us struggle. I speak for myself. It is easier to be black or white, this or that, team do it, or team let my emotions dictate what I feel like doing that day. And when I've forced, when I've pushed, when I've been in my masculine, yeah, it works for a while until it doesn't. And I've been on the other side, just in my feminine, praying, meditating, sitting on my lily pad, and I get high on life and my vibration is high, but then the bills aren't paid. That's at least been my experience. And I felt myself like this tug, like which one is it? Well, for the past few years, I've really been trying to gain the balance, really seeing both sides. And it is not easy because we are so conditioned and trained to do, to push, and to really judge or poo-poo or call these other people lazy. And so I want you to just consider forgetting about the semantics of it all, forgetting about what other people do or what other people are telling you to do, and to really go inside. What is your balance of being and doing? Because they both work together. And I was actually looking up the word hustle, because in my mind, when it comes to doing work, it's like, yeah, there's a hustle, there's a rush, there's a worry. But then in sports, it's like hustle up, let's hustle, let's put a little more sweat into it. So as I looked up the definition in the word hustle, I believe many of us think of hustle as the verb to struggle, to effort, to work, to toil, to strain, to plod, to labor, to slave, to sweat blood, to drudge or to attack, to wade, to overwork. Those were all synonyms to the word hustle when it's a verb. Hustle as an action. But to my great delight, I saw that hustle is also a noun, and a noun meaning a person, a place, a thing, or an idea, thinking of hustle as more of the idea. Here are synonyms for the word hustle as a noun: ambition, drive, spirit, vigor, spunk, initiative, grit, energy, assertiveness, vitality, action, enterprise, gumption, self-reliance. Now that is the kind of hustle that I want. Using hustle more as an idea from within versus a verb and an action from without, that push, that force. Because when it comes to change and to progress and to growth, we do need some hustle. So I invite you, if the word hustle or hustle culture triggers you, try to reframe it. And again, it's all semantics. It's just wording and our experience with it. And if you love hustle culture and you hate people that are like anti-hustle culture, I would also encourage you to reconsider it. Are you pushing? Are you forcing? Are you under the spell that suffering, slaving, sacrificing is the reason why you're going to be successful? I myself am reframing the word hustle from a verb to force, jostle, or shove to more of a noun: energetic, activity, effort, because it does take effort. That is something I learned the hard way. And my personal example of this hustle, I was doing more of the verb. I was pushing, I was struggling in my fitness journey to work out, to push through no matter what. And then I had people around me like, Carla, you're doing a lot. Like, don't hustle culture, don't do all this. And I thought, you know what, maybe they're right. And all the people that were telling me aren't working out. And so I was like, I'm going to sleep in. I'm just going to listen to my body. I'm going to go on walks, which was all beautiful, but it did not strengthen my muscle. It did not change my physique. And I knew deep down that wasn't enough. If I truly wanted to change, now if I wanted to maintain, that might have worked, but I really wanted to change and shift. So I threw the baby out with the bathwater, very black and white. I let go of hustle culture and I went into just softening anti-hustle until I realized it didn't work. And I was like, well, what the hell? And then it clicked. Carla, don't listen to anybody. Go inside. What do you need? Maybe it doesn't doesn't look like everybody else. Waking up at 4:30 a.m., which I actually enjoy doing, and pushing through. But it's also not acquiescing to my emotions of the day and sleeping in and hitting snooze, because then nothing gets done. It's all in the way we experience it. It behooves us to be honest with ourselves about what this all means. It's kind of like the word discipline. These words, hustle and discipline, have negative connotation. But I truly think of discipline as really giving yourself a command and following it, being a disciple of your dreams and your goals. I love the word discipline. I like how it feels. But I know that's not the case for other people. Discipline can be really harsh. It could be a punishment, and it could be a very triggering thought. But let's reframe these words and what they mean to us. If you feel very polarized on either side, maybe it's time to consider and come into the middle. Maybe throw the word out altogether. I hope you enjoyed my little interpretation of hustle and hustle culture. So I am definitely for hustling and working towards my goals, having energy and ambition and self-reliance. But I ain't for slaving, dredging, and suffering, because I know that everything I desire and everything that I want truly is already mine, and I am capable of it. But to truly manifest it and bring it to this plane takes both. It takes the right inner mindset, that receptive feminine energy, and the masculine, the outer physical action and the doing. It's always both. It's easy to be on one side or another. It's not easy to be able to hold two concepts, see both sides. And that's why most people don't do it. That is what I'm trying to do more of. I hope this message resonated with you. Let me know your thoughts on hustle culture. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.